everyone, welcome to the next video from this Pumpkin Town page from Tiny Year by Agotapop, and we have a very cute a selection of mushrooms again today to sort of complete our row of 3. Let me just move the book across a little. There we go. We can probably come in a tad closer. There we are. Now let's have a little look. These have several colours in. They're quite several like stripes. I don't think I've ever coloured one like that before, so that'll be interesting. Just trying to decide on some colours. We've got Black Widow pencils as we have done throughout. I'm wondering whether to just go for an orange, just to sort of use our you know, make the most of our autumnal type theme. I think I'm going to go for the light rust colour. Here it is. It's nice and sharp as well. This was a good start. Now I think I'm going to do these, and I'm going to do every other one so that we can get a sort of stripe look going on with our mushrooms. So darker on those edges. So I'm going to go over those a few times. Try to make them a bit more intense and a bit lighter in the middle. It's not going to show up massively, but here will be a little bit better. We can make it a bit lighter in the middle, and that just, you can use another colour to make it darker on the edge, or you can just intensify the one you're using. I do a mixture of both really. It just depends on what I'm colouring and what mood I'm in and what range of colours I have access to and that sort of thing. But today I'm just in the mood for simple. I didn't sleep particularly well last night, so I'm a bit tired, so I'm in the mood for simple colouring. So hopefully that's okay. There we go. Yeah, I think I was awake until midnight anyway, which I normally go to sleep about 10:30. And then I woke up 2 or 3 times, and I had to get up my alarm went off at 6 because it's to get people off to work. So it's like, oof. But anyway, luckily I'm at home doing my own thing. If I get too tired, I can just have a little rest. I won't sleep. I don't sleep in the day. It's not something that my brain or body allows me to do. Whether that will change as I get older, I don't know. I mean, my parents never used to sleep in the day, and now they do. So, you know, we'll see. My husband sleeps all the time. It's part of the ADHD though, apparently. Now, I think, what are we going to go for now? Now, they look a bit traffic coney at the moment. So I don't want to leave them white. They look too traffic coney. I'm trying to choose between whether to do a sort of peachy colour, whether to go for a yellow. I think we'll go peach. I might go for it's a colour called Rust, which I'm just trying to find. Is that it there? Nope. There it is. So we've got light rust, and then this is rust. Now this is lighter. I know. Their names don't always make sense, but hopefully it'll just look a little bit peachy. There we go. I mean, I've got no idea. I'm sure there are mushrooms that look like this, and they probably have specific colours and things like that, but you know, it doesn't always have to do it. We don't always have to go with the way it looks. And might just have been using her imagination and coming up with something fun. You know, I like to think that's what she was doing. Now stems, I'm going to grab the light mocha just because it's next door to that colour, and I think it might work. We'll see. Put it down as a base. I might put a little bit of my stomach's gurgling. I might put a little bit of a darker colour on top just to put a bit of shadow in. Let me have a quick look at my swatchy chart. I think I'm going to have to go with a brown. Okay, let's turn to the browns. What about that one? Looking at my swatches, I think the Castle might be a good colour, and I don't think we've used it yet. There it is. Castle, hard to read, castle. And what I'm going to do with this is just put a little bit of darker colour underneath and down the side like that to look like there's a bit of shadow there. There we go, just a tad. Now we've got a big mushroom. Now I don't want to do that in orange. We've got a lot of orange going on. I'd quite like a sort of bronzy colour. Be a bit different to what we've done already, because we've been sort of I have sort of been concentrating on orangey colours. This is Foxy Brown. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to use a few colours, I think, for this one. So I don't want it too dark, but I just want a sort of darker bit at the bottom. So I'm just putting a little bit on just to see how it looks, how dark it is, really, and thinking about where I want to put it. I think I want it more than that. I think it is going to work. So put quite a dark line along the bottom and then just sort of fade it up. I was having a look today for some books. There's a, can I think of its name? Nope. Buddhist monk written a couple of books on sort of mindfulness and things like that. I was interested in reading. I found out about him through, I've got a Deliciously Ella app. I'm going to use the saddle next. And there's a section on there called mindfulness. So I thought, that's interesting. I'll go and have a little listen, see what's on there. So I had a listen. Now, it's not in my own definition of mindfulness. A lot of them weren't. They were meditations. They were nice. Some of them I wasn't so keen on. You know, that's fine. Happens. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just taking this colour up a little bit, keeping it fairly light, mainly, apart from on top of the area where we've got colour already. But these particular ones by this monk, they were very linked into mindfulness. And yeah, I was really enjoying them. Now, where are we going to go? I'm thinking olive gold. So I found out a little bit. I thought, well, maybe he's got more on his website, Instagram, whatever. No, he's got a website, and it's sort of advertised. He does retreats and things like that, and he's got a couple of books. And I thought, oh, books! I could read the books, and my library has them, so that's good. But I was hoping to get them as ebooks. I find that better, to have to go and collect them and all that. Unfortunately, no, they're only available in a paper copy, hardback, and one of them is out. There's a more recent one. This is a bit dull. I want to brighten it. I want to get some yellow in there. It might end up looking a bit gold, but I don't really mind. Where should we go? Banana. Let's put some banana on it. Bananas are tasty. I'm sure they're always going to help. Anyway, so I will have a look at those at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, there were two meditations. One was they were very short. And then there was a little talk about how you can ground yourself, which I really liked, where he basically said at any point in the day, at any time, you can just sit still or stand. It depends where you are. You might be standing. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your bottom on the chair, if you're sitting, or back on the chair, whatever. Just notice that feeling. And then just imagine your shoulders just relaxing down, and imagine your stress, just as your shoulders come down, your stress coming out of your shoulders. And I thought that was a really lovely little thing that you can do at any time, anywhere. No one's going to see. You know, it's inside your own head, and it could just help you to take yourself away from a situation that might be causing you some stress or a build-up of things. You know, sometimes it's not just one specific thing. You suddenly just feel on edge, and there's been a mix of things. So I thought that was rather good. And there was no talk of breathing, I don't think. You know, because some of them had a lot of breathing, which was these other mindfulness, as they were called, sort of meditations. And they were focusing on breathing through the nose. Now, that's something I've told you before. For me, that's really difficult. I can do it now at the moment. I'm all good. I'm going to just look for a colour for this stem. I think I'm going to try the Cobra. It's a slightly greeny, bronzy colour. And I'm just going to put a really light bit down and see if it works. It's a bit different. It's quite unusual for what I normally do for stems, but it's just my little base colour. It's quite green, much greener than I thought. That's okay. I'm going to I'm going to find another colour. Yeah, I'm going to grab the, where is it? Choctone. And I'm going to use it really carefully and lightly. So along here where this is drawn, I'm just going to take that down a little bit further like that. Now we've got these, it's uneven in the bottom, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just sort of make something up here, a line, and then just draw a little bit of colour from it like that, a little bit along the edge. Same here, a little bit of colour there, along the edge. It just gives it a little more shape. It's quite simple. You don't have to. If you're not confident or you don't like it, don't do it. There we go. Now I am going to go back over the top of that with the Cobra, just to finish it off. I just want to put a little bit more intensity of colour in there. That's better. There we go. Right, I've just got to wipe my nose, and then we can think about these little plants behind. I think I want to do green because we have got any green. And just because it's autumn, we do get green. I'm going to do the green grass, I think. I'm very naughty for just picking my favourite colours all the time. My sort of olivey colours. Here we go, green grass. It just says grass, I know, it's run out. I mean, it's sharpened off. Okay. So for these, I want to make them darker down in that little tip there. So I'm going to go over and over that a little more and less layers towards the top. Straightforward colouring. I haven't done those dots, have I? Nope. Yeah, so I'm liking the mindfulness that I've got. I was just wanted something to listen to, and I sort of spotted these other ones and thought I'd just give them a little listen last night. Didn't listen to all of them. There were some where I just didn't like the way they did it. You know, that's why they have lots of different ones, so that you can find one that you like. But there we go. And then this one up here, I'm thinking I'm going to do these circles in a brown. We have got, I've got the castle that I used earlier. I think we'll use that. Why not? And I'm going to do them a little bit darker at the bottom, like this, and then just sort of fade it up. Quite tricky on these smaller ones. Just do my best. Concentrating. There we go. Now underneath each of them I feel there should be a little bit of shadow. Now, so I'm going to grab the choctone and just put a little bit underneath. Now on our other one like this, it was yesterday, wasn't it? We whited out the tops of some of these circles just with a pencil. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that today or not. Sorry, just shifting my feet around under the desk. Looks like it's going to be a dry day today after all the storms yesterday. I'm very surprised I didn't hear anything about any trees down or anything, but there wasn't. But quite a few places closed that had trees because they were concerned about that. I'm going to put a bit of colour in the bottom. Now again, I think this is dirt, not... What did I do for the dirt last time? Dungeon. Right, we're going to find a different colour dirt for this one. I think it mix it up a bit. I'm going to use a little bit of charcoal first. It's not it. Oh, there it is. So it needs sharpening, but I'll just show you charcoal. But I'm going to put some brown on top after, I think. So I'm going to use these little circular movements, try and keep it uneven, so it looks more like dirt or soil or peat or whatever it might be. Compost, fertiliser. No, getting a bit silly now. The weeds are growing in my garden again. It's like, ugh. It rains once and suddenly it's all weedy. I'm going to put a bit of foxy brown on top. And even the bindweed is flowering and back. I think everything had got so dry, nothing was really growing. And we had lots of rain. And suddenly the garden is just full of weeds. But the plants are coming up happily as well, which is good. But really, weeds everywhere. Haven't got round to doing anything about it. There we go. I think that is enough for this one. Yeah. Now tomorrow it's planner day, so there's a few planner videos. I think there's 3. I've done it already. I think there's 3, and then we'll come back after and the day after, so that'll be on Thursday, and we'll start working on this big design at the bottom. Okay, and I shall split it into sections to make it a little bit easier, because I don't think I want to do all of it in one video, so to make it easier for me, possibly for you as well. So splitting into sections. You can't even see it there. Here it is. So it's quite a big spread. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 pumpkins. We've got mushrooms and different things. Nice berries here. So it's a really pretty one to do. But yeah, I'm going to break it up a little bit. Sorry, yawning. As I say, I'm tired, but I'm fine. I've had less sleep for much longer, prolonged tea. When the children were babies. My goodness, I was getting 2 hours a night for like at least 6 weeks, and then maybe 3 or 4 if I was lucky. Exhausting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to watch back for the rest on, as I say, probably Thursday. Okay, happy colouring.